In this video, I closely look intramolecular force and intermolecular force. Subscribe to the channel. Watch the video until the end. What is intramolecular force? What is intermolecular force? I'll answer these two questions. First, let us consider chlorine and hydrogen. They react together and form hydrogen chloride. To form hydrogen chloride, chlorine's atomic number 17, its electron configuration is mentioned to 87, and this chlorine atoms needs one electron to have 8 electrons in its outermost shell, but hydrogen has only one electrons. And chlorine, hydrogen react with chlorine to form hydrogen chloride, but both hydrogen and chlorine to form hydrogen chloride, they must contribute one electrons and form shared electrons. These shared electrons came from one electron from hydrogen and the other electrons from chlorine, and we call it shared electrons. Now, the shared electrons form a single bond. Again, this single bond is formed from one electron from hydrogen and the other electrons from chlorine. And this single bond also known as bonding electrons. In hydrogen chloride, the bonding electrons move toward the nucleus of chlorine because chlorine is high electronegative element than hydrogen. Because of this, chlorine carries partially positive charge, but hydrogen is hydrogen carry partially positive charge because the bonding electron that is formed between hydrogen and the chlorine move towards the nucleus of chlorine, since chlorine attracts this bonding electron toward its nucleus because it has high electronegative value than hydrogen. Therefore, HCl is a polar molecules. Now, this HCl make intermolecular force with another HCl, and another HCl make intermolecular force with another HCl molecules. We have four HCl molecules. Each four HCl molecules bonded together by intermolecular force. The solid line here in each four HCl molecule, we call it intramolecular force, but the broken line in each four HCl molecule, we call it intermolecular force. The solid line, intermolecular force, the broken line, intermolecular force. Intramolecular force are a chemical bond that hold atoms together in a molecule or in a compound. Intermolecular force act within a molecule or a compound. It acts within a molecule. We have three types of intramolecular force: ionic bond, covalent bond, and metallic bond. And this intermolecular force determine the chemical property of a substance. Intermolecular force are forces that hold molecule together. Intramolecular force act between molecules, just between molecules. Intermolecular force determines the physical property of substance, such as melting point, boiling point, solubility, and viscosity. Now, let me give you additional example. Oxygen with atomic number 8, electron configuration 2,6, means that oxygen atom needs 2 electron to have 8 electron in its outermost shell. Therefore, one oxygen atom react with 2 hydrogen atoms and form water molecules. Now, this pair of electrons, we call it shared electron, and this shared electrons formed from one hydrogen and one electrons, and from one oxygen, one electrons. The shared electrons again make bond. This bond electrons is formed by contributing one electron from each hydrogen atom and one oxygen atoms. Again, water is a polar molecule because the electronegativity value of oxygen is different from that of hydrogen, and the bonding electrons shift toward the nucleus of oxygen, means that oxygen attract the bonding electron toward its nucleus. That's why oxygen produces partially negative, whereas hydrogen produces partially positive. Atoms in a polar molecule have high electronegativity difference. Electronegativity is the power of an atom to attract the bonding electron toward its nucleus. Now let us consider one water molecule. It forms intermolecular force with another water molecules. This is a broken line. We call it intermolecular force that exists between two water molecules. As I told you, hydrogen carries partially positive and oxygen carries partially negative. Therefore, these two partial charges attract each other by intermolecular force. Again, these water molecules form intermolecular force with another water molecules. By this, by intermolecular force, a lot of water molecules bonded together. Again, this water molecule attract another water molecule by intermolecular force. As I told you, the broken line represents intermolecular force, which is found between one water molecule to another water molecules. But intramolecular forces that exist within a single water molecules. For example, between hydrogen and oxygen, or the solid line here represents intramolecular force, but the broken line tell us intermolecular force which is exist between one molecule to another molecules. Broken line stands for intermolecular force. The solid line stands for intermolecular force. Now, additional example, as I told you, hydrogen is partially positive, chlorine is partially negative. Thus, the bond is formed by contributing one electron from each hydrogen and chlorine. Due to high electronegativity value of chlorine, it attracts the bonding electron toward its nucleus. That's why it's carry partially negative, whereas hydrogens carry partially positive. And this one H cell molecule bonded with another H cell molecule by intermolecular force. This is a broken line between H cell and water molecules. We call it intermolecular force. So HCl and water, the force that exists between HCl and water, we call it intermolecular force. Again, hydrogen of HCl bonded with oxygen of water by intermolecular force. And now, again, hydrogen of oxygen, sorry, hydrogen of water attracted by chlorine of HCl by intermolecular force. So, as I told you, this the broken line stands for intermolecular force, and this